Hello everyone, Alex Savoie for Discovery of Wine. Today we're going to do a little episode on wine books. And so, first things first, I'm going to tell you basically the books that I enjoyed. I've bought way too many in the past that are absolutely useless to me. Maybe you would like them, but they're not useful for me. So I'm going to tell you the ones that I appreciate. This, first of all, The World Atlas of Wine by Hugh Johnson and Jancis Robinson, the two most well-known British critics on wine over the past 20-25 years at least. And this is the encyclopedia on wine. Tells you absolutely everything. It covers all the regions, all the winemaking process, everything like that. But there's nothing that's in too much detail, so it's very easy and quick reading, because you don't need to read it cover to cover. You'll go to, let's say, Spain, La Rioja. You want to learn what's going on over there. It's maybe 2-3 pages, so it's a very good reference guide for when you're wondering anything or you want to learn a little bit about a region, for example. Second thing, Magazine Le Cellier from the SAQ. This is, I'm only mentioning this because it's free. You can get it at your branch, or you can register for it at saq.com. And so it comes out 4 times a year. There's always a theme. It's very well made. It's interesting, and most of all, it's free, so you don't lose much by subscribing to it. Next book, Mark Ullman's Brave New World of Wine. This is my favorite wine book right now. I love to discover new things, discover varietals I haven't heard about or regions I haven't heard before. And so if you're like me, this is probably the book for you. So what he does is he takes about 50 different varietal region and things that most people don't know, but people in the industry might know about, or people who try a lot of wine have discovered these little gems. So usually you'll get a good deal on these wines because they're not from the most reputed regions, and so that's always interesting. And also it'll help you try new things. He does it in a very easy to understand language. This can be useful for anybody, whether you're a wine pro or wine novice. It can be useful for anybody who wants to try new things. And this is what I'm all about. So this is something I really appreciate, and it has helped me in the past episodes that I've done with you guys. Next thing, wine buyer's guides. There's a whole bunch of them out there. There's a whole bunch of articles in the newspapers on wine. What I would recommend for wine buyer's guides is don't get 5 of them, don't get 10 of them. Maybe find one critic that you like. If he writes for a paper, well, you buy that paper every time the critic writes in it. Usually it's once a week, mostly on Saturdays. So that's one thing. The other thing is the wine books. So if you like this one critic, let's say you like Michel Faneuf, maybe you buy his book because you're going to like most of the things he recommends, or that you can understand what his language is when he writes about wine. So there's a whole bunch of them out there. The problem here is that most of them are from writers outside of Quebec, and we don't necessarily have access to all the wines they talk about. So if you can find a writer who resides in your region and so will taste wines that you have access to, that's a lot more useful. Because let's say I have Parker's wine guide. I never use it because some of the wines he talks about are available at the SAQ, but most of them not. So I'm going to look for, let's say, 10 minutes to find 2 or 3 wines that maybe I'd want to try, but I'm wasting a lot of time, so I end up never even opening it. Last book I want to talk about is Hugh Johnson's Pocket Wine Book. This is a 2011 version. He has a new one every year. This is like a mini dictionary. Every single term is in here. So let's say you want to buy an Austrian wine, and you don't know what's written on the label. I don't even know what's written on the label most of the time because it's in German, and it's not easy to understand unless you know German. So I would go, let's say the wine we had the other day, Federspiel. So I go to the section for Austria, Federspiel. Oh, what does Federspiel mean? He'll give you, maybe 2 or 3 sentences very quickly, but you get the information right out. And instead of recommending specific wines, he'll talk about a lot of producers. So let's say you go in Spain, Marqués de Murrieta. He'll tell you Marqués de Murrieta, his quality level in general is pretty high. He made good wine in this and that year. and his best wines are this one and that one. He has good value with this and that. And so it's very interesting, very quick information, all by region, and basically a little reference for whenever you're wondering, what does this term mean? You go there, it tells you everything. So that's interesting. Finally, maybe touch a little bit on websites. If you don't want to buy a book, you don't need to, because everything's on the internet. We're going to do a show on my favorite websites in one of the upcoming episodes. And so I'd like you guys to tell me which books that you enjoy, which books you don't enjoy about wine, and maybe listen and comment below so we can have a little discussion and maybe give hints to people as to which books are good, which books are not to buy, and so help each other out. So that's about it for today, and I'll see you guys next time.